I'm a glass case of emotion. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Lucy Hale here at BuzzFeed, and I'm here to talk about my first times. First person you thought might have been A on PLL. Honestly, I thought it was Aria. I thought for the whole 8 seasons that they were eventually gonna make Aria A. There were so many things that led up to it. She was always missing in action, and I was wrong. I wanted Aria to be A. I think we all wanted to be the bad guy. First time you were turned down for a role you really wanted. Where do I begin? I auditioned for High School Musical for Vanessa Hudgens' part, Hannah Montana. Years before Miley got cast. It was when I was still living in Tennessee. I auditioned for it. I was like 15. Hairspray, Twilight, I auditioned for Ashley Greene's part. The list goes on and on. Me and Ashley Benson used to audition against each other before Pretty Little Liars all the time. First kiss, I knew this one was coming. My first kiss was with a guy named David Mitchell. He lived down the street from me. I had a crush on him forever, and we made out at church. No lie. What's up, David? Great. First on-screen kiss was Leighton Meester in a pilot that never got picked up. I was 15, got to kiss Leighton, which is pretty cool. First show you ever binged, I think it was Friends. I want to say I watched Friends from top to bottom a couple of times now. First show you'd rewatch yourself in if you had to right now, out of How I Met Your Mother, American Juniors, or Privileged. Well, How I Met Your Mother was only 2 episodes, so that would be a boring binge. American Juniors would be hysterical. I think Privileged. It was a short-lived show on the CW about 2 spoiled twins and their nanny. But I'm still really close with them, and it was a really good show. I think it was just a little before its time. It didn't really catch on. Okay, first red carpet experience was for the Bee Movie. If you remember the Bee Movie, I felt so cool that I got invited. I'd done nothing at the time, but I got invited to the Bee Movie premiere. I want to say I was probably 16. I did my own hair and makeup. Remember when we used to wear tunics over jeans? Well, at least I did. It was like a black tunic over some wide leg jeans, very chic. It was all about the fashion back then. That was really bad, but fun experience. First celebrity crush. I have a few. There's Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Zach Hansen, and Devin Sawa. Those were like the J14, Tiger Beat days. First time you ever had coffee. I want to say it was at my grandmother's. She was the one in the family who let me and my sister get away with everything. Let us wear makeup first, let us watch R-rated movies first. Well, she let me and my sister watch the original Exorcist at a abnormally young age. We were 7 years old, and no kids should be watching that. But I did. But I think that's what sparked my love of horror films, because she let me watch all of them really young. First big purchase as a celebrity. I want to say it was my first car. I got a Prius, a Toyota Prius. I loved that car. First makeup/fashion moment you really regretted. The pencil thin, surprised eyebrow look. And luckily they've grown in. I was like, Mom, why'd you let me do that? Yikes. First time you saw yourself in a magazine. I want to say maybe it was one of those Us Weekly, The Stars. They're just like us, which is ridiculous because, yeah, we are. It was in one of the gossipy magazines, and I was like, I've made it. Now I try to avoid being in those. First apartment. It was an apartment across from the Grove in LA. And I lived with Ashley Newbrough, who played my sister on Privileged. I had just bought my Prius, so a lot of my firsts happened around that time. Lots of bad decisions made in that apartment, but it was good. Good times. Healthy bad decisions, not anything weird. First time you sang in public. 8 years old, I sang Tomorrow from Annie. Was mortified, was so nervous. It was like a little singing competition in Tennessee. I won, still have the trophy somewhere. First memory you have from working on PLL. We were shooting the pilot. It was in Vancouver, and it was the dead of winter, and we had very minimal clothing on. Our mouths were numb, and we were just trying to heat up our mouths so we could actually say the words. I think it was the scene where the body's being pulled out at the end, the very last scene of the pilot. For some reason that is my only memory of back then. First PLL co-star you'd call to hang with right now. Aw, probably Janelle. I love Janelle Parrish. But I love them all. They're all good peeps. First cellular phone, the Nokia, the one where you could play Snake and you could change out the face plates. It was a hand-me-down from my sister. It didn't even work, and I just carried it around because I thought I was super cool. First time someone came up to you in public and did the PLL whisper. I'll just tell the story about how that came about, and it was the first time anyone did it to me. We were at a photo shoot, 12-hour day, we were exhausted, and the photographer was like, Lucy, shush the camera, and it was the last frame. It was literally the last photo. So I guess that counts as an answer to the question, and they ended up using it for the poster, which is what everyone knows. First time you knew you were famous. It was when I was living across from the Grove, so I would walk across, see, I'm incorporating all the firsts into this. So I would walk across to the Grove, and there were posters everywhere, and that was like a really surreal, uncomfortable moment, but pretty cool. Okay, last one. First AIM or AOL screen name. I wanna say it was Kickin' It with a K, K-I-C-K-I-N, it with Luce, L-U-C, and then I think it was my birthday. Kickin' It with Luce, 1989. I still have it. Okay, survived talking about my first times with BuzzFeed. Another first for me is that I have partnered up with Honey Nut Cheerios for the Good Rewards program, and I'm trying to win $100,000 for the ASPCA. What you can do is you can buy a box of Honey Nut Cheerios and go to beegoodrewards.com, scan your Buzz coin, choose a team, preferably mine, and help me win money for the sweet little animals.